and follow NASCAR for inside access from all around the sport. Welcome back to the desert and Phoenix International Raceway. As the Sprint Cup cars are on track for their one and only practice today before they will qualify this afternoon. Alex Bowman behind the wheel of the 88. Bowman currently 16th quickest in this practice session.
Defending race winner, the 88 won here in the fall with Dale Jr. behind the wheel and some, I'll call them unique circumstances between the pit cycle and some rain.
Yeah, I would call it unique. We're in the desert, as I mentioned just moments ago.
Well, I don't know which is more unique, the rain in the desert or the fact that someone beat Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, that has been very rare since Kevin Harvick's won 5 of the last 6 races at Phoenix. As we ride along with Alex Bowman, Jeff, talk us through this unique racetrack. Well, it looks like he's going to shut down and come in just as soon.
So this is how you get to pit road in the garage. You come down the apron in 3 and 4. Really pretty easy.
Xfinity car a little while ago, and we called him coming on pit road. It was exciting.
Nice. Very nice. How about Kyle Busch?
Well, I will tell you, this entry into turn 1, we'll go back to that when we get there, but the exit of turn 2, it's all about getting the car turned in the middle and then making rear grip, and then that right there doesn't illustrate the banking into trial on the back straightaway, but it's a little crazy. And then this corner, just long, lasts forever. Just now long, he's off the throttle. He's never full throttle until now. Had to mess with the throttle a little bit right there, but watch how much sooner he gets in the throttle in turn 1. Right in the middle, he's going to go, now he's back to the throttle, and he goes in the throttle, full throttle sooner. So, and he'll come in on cue.
Yes.
Because that's what they do.
Very good at that. Let's hear a little bit more about his teammate from Dave.
No one describes a cool-down lap better than you guys. I just want you to know that. So his teammate, Denny Hamlin, said this about his very fast FedEx Ground Camry.
Treat's a little bit better. Exit's still an issue off of 2. I can't put the throttle down without it over-rotating. Same in turn 4. My port throttle is up fine. I hate to really tighten that up a whole bunch, but my late exit is free. Same as 2.
Jeff, what do you think about that? I just hate to do that, tighten that up just that little bit because my late exit is free.
Well, that's the compromise because 3 and 4 last forever. If you tightened up the center of 3 and 4, trying to make it have rear grip on the exit of 4 and the exit of 2, well, now your part throttle time is so much longer because the car doesn't turn. So now you're not pointed and you can't go full throttle soon enough. So this racetrack is huge compromises. 1 and 2 is a very quick corner, a very sharp radius. Things happen quickly. 3 and 4 last forever. The rolling speed in the center of 3 and 4 is so important to your overall lap time. You've got to be able to get off the corner and lay the throttle wide open. But if you tighten up the center of 3 and 4, it absolutely destroys lap time, and you have to have a compromise.
This track is all about compromise. It's going to be the compromise on speed on new tires versus speed on old tires. It's going to be the compromise whether you want to be good in 1 and 2, whether you want to be good in 3 and 4, which corner you think the driver feels he can help you more in, because you're not going to be perfect in both. There's no way. Their physics win. You try to break physics win. Turns 1 and 2 has banking, has a lot of load. 3 and 4 is flat. There isn't a lot of load on the race car. You have to pick which one you think is more important, because the problem is I've also had cars here that are okay in both, and you know what happens then? You run about 5th, because there's 4 guys that are really, really good in one end or the other.
And it's a great debate. Which corner is most important? Like you'll talk to several drivers, and they'll say, oh, without a doubt, getting off turn 2, because you can make a pass there, you can position yourself for a long back straightaway, and then you talk to somebody else and say, oh, you got to roll the middle of 3 and 4. So it's really different ideas on which corners are the most important.
Mike, which corners do you think are the most important?
I think they're all important. I don't want to have to choose between any of them, Rick. That's just me. Something that always impresses me, guys, is the ingenuity in the garage between these teams. Now, we've seen magnetic fans attached to the wheels of these cars to cool down the brakes and cool down the tires in between runs. Well, the 48 team has, they've come out with a different device. They've had it most of the year, but it's basically a tire rack that has rollers on it. And behind, you can see there's a fan that's blowing cool air onto these tires, cooling them down in between runs. They spin the tires on these rollers to make sure that they're cool all the way around. Basically, trying to have the tires return back to the original setting so that they're comparing apples to apples each run. They don't want to change the variables from run to run. And Steve, you know that's important to make sure your data is the same run after run so that you can really understand what your changes have done.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of confusion in my mind of what NASCAR Spirit Cup practice is for. It's for multiple things. Obviously, it's to figure out how fast your car can go so you can sit on the pole today, but it's also to learn. And you can simulate what happens on the racetrack and what happens in qualifying by timing your runs and being very accurate. And that helps you understand what's going to happen later this afternoon. Or you can try to cut out all the variables so your experiments are as accurate as possible. Right now, Chad Canales, as you see him looking on Jimmy Johnson on the racetrack, they're in the learning phase, Jeff. So they want to eliminate variables. The only thing they want to change on this 48 is the chassis change that Chad Canales made, or the driving style change that Jimmy Johnson may try to adapt. They don't want other variables, Jeff.
Bad information in, bad information out. You have to understand what you're learning. And the more consistent you can have as many things as possible, the more you can learn.
Toyotas right now are looking very strong. Jimmy Johnson is the best Chevrolet, currently 4th on the speed list. Pretty impressive, though, for the 8 chase drivers.